recorded and not know. Oh, but I forgot that Zoom lets you know too, right? Gotta love the attorneys. Okay, so but also y'all, please put in the chat who invited you to tonight's call. This is my favorite call. This is my favorite type of Zoom type of call to do. And we, Plexus ambassadors, we have a promo code that we want you to be able to use when you purchase your products. So please put in the chat your name and who invited you. A lot of times you'll think we can see your name, and sometimes we can't. Sometimes it's different on our end. So please put your name and who invited you, because we want to make sure that you get that promo code so that you get that discount for your products when you get started. I am going to go ahead and start to screen share. My name is Rhea Moore. I am a very, very, very thankful and blessed and happy and grateful Diamond Ambassador with Plexus. So Plexus has changed my life. And I'll get it at the end. I will let y'all know all the ways, but the first and foremost way that it changed my life was my health and my kids' health. Most specifically my oldest daughter. And that is the main reason why I share Plexus and continue to share. So speaking of the word share, I'm going to go ahead and start my screen share. Just give me just a moment to pull up the correct. Okay, here we go. The correct screen. My apologies. Okay, so please give me a thumbs up if you see a very cute little girl sitting on a doctor's table. Yay! All right, good. Okay. Okay. So sometimes my computer acts right and sometimes it doesn't, y'all. It just depends on the day. This is my daughter, y'all. This is my daughter, Claire. And so Claire was born at 23 weeks. And when I first used to do this call, I would have a picture of Claire when she was born. But I don't do that because I realize it's a trigger for some people who have a NICU experience. And I want this call to be a good experience. But Claire was born at 23 weeks. And when she was born, the doctors, I remember laying on that bed and they were like, okay. They let me know that, she had about at the time, this is back in 2007. And she had about gosh, I think it was between 10 and 30% chance of surviving her first 48 hours. And that was going to be very crucial. Well, she survived her first 48 hours. And then over the next 8 months, when she was in the NICU for 8 months, over those next 8 months, I had two of those terrifying pull you into that room with the box of tissue, the phone, and that table and two plastic pink pleather chairs, and where they prepared us for her death. And they even moved her into a separate section, into a corner of the NICU at one point, because she was about 5 months old at that point, or 4 months old. They moved her into a corner of the NICU so that we could have our private time with her. And at 4 months old, they again gave her about 24 to 48 hours to live. Her organs, they said, were shutting down. She was like a balloon. All this fluid. And Claire was like, no, boo-boo. No. Claire and God decided that they were going to stick around. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm very thankful for that. It's one of the reasons why I'm very passionate about volunteering in the family NICU support program. And it's one of the reasons why I really got very, very active in health and wellness. Claire is now 13 years old. She'll be 14 in October. She is a walking, living, breathing miracle. I now have 3 daughters. So Claire is 13 and I have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I'm very thankful for all of my miracles. And that really put me into this focus on her, especially when Claire was my first child. I had my second child when she was 5. And I just got into this focus of her development, cognitive, physical, what I was putting into her body, intervention. I was like an intervention fool, y'all. If there was a therapy, we were on it. We were doing it. And so I got very focused on, especially what I was putting into her body and our bodies. And so I focused on, no, what do you call it? Processed foods and what our body, what we put into our body is doing to our body, and what helps our cognitive development. And I was doing all the right things, y'all. And we were just living the NICU. We were living the preemie life. We were living the micro preemie life, meaning we didn't know what the day was going to hold. It's been a road. It's been a long, hard road. And it was not until I added Plexus to her regimen that I saw light in the tunnel. And I don't say light at the end of the tunnel, END. I say light, IN, in the tunnel, because as any special needs mom knows, you just don't know what the next day holds, or what the next year or next month holds. So I say light inside that tunnel because there's really not an end. This is a journey I will be on for life, and I love it. I take it. It is my purpose. But I'm saying all this to say it wasn't until I added Plexus to all the right things that I was doing that I saw the changes that you see on the screen. And that is why I get emotional about Plexus. That is why I share nonstop about Plexus. That is why I'm the crazy Plexus lady, because I see what it has done for my daughter and also what it's done for me. I've had GI issues all my life. I've had sinus infections all my life. I've had so many headaches. I would just take Tylenol PM every night. I've had anxiety, especially after my throughout the NICU experience, to where my hair was falling out and I was on, medication, depression medication, antidepressants, anxiolytics, anti-anxiety medication, and nothing is wrong with that. If you need it, nothing is wrong with that, y'all. But I noticed when I started Plexus that I didn't need those medications as much. And I did titrate off. I need to be very clear about that. I talked to my doctor and I titrated myself off of those, and my doctor did. And you may not experience that, but I experienced a difference in my mood, my anxiety, and my depression, my GI issues, my headaches, and my energy. But the biggest thing was what I experienced with Claire. And that's why I love to do these kids' health calls. So I like to give y'all the backdrop. I just love to give back because I'm so passionate about this. This is Claire. This is Claire in 2018. So this is my 23 weeker, y'all. And you can see this is her appointment, her annual evaluation at Texas Children's Hospital. And this is the main reason we moved to Texas from Miami, because of the complex care clinic at Texas Children's Hospital and the cerebral palsy clinic there. At this point, y'all, you wouldn't even, I feel bad even saying Claire has cerebral palsy, because you just I can tell looking at her ankles and her wrists, but you just can't tell just looking at this child outside looking in. In 2018, this was our evaluation, all of her doctors. So this is when she has her physical medicine doctor and, her, what do you call it? The neurologist, right? And her gastroenterologist, her nutritionist. So a team of doctors at this complex care clinic that I love and adore every year sees Claire. This is her appointment in 2018. She's suffering from those eczema patches. She's suffering from her migraines, her asthma attacks, gastroparesis. Google it, y'all. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Out of all the things, this child has had 2 brain surgeries, and she's had heart surgery. She's had several surgeries for her GI system. Even compared to her brain, heart, eye surgery, I would not wish gastroparesis on anyone. It wreaks havoc on her entire system. And she has a very mild case because I'm in a gastroparesis mom group, and I'm like, oh my word, it's just you can't digest your food. So she wouldn't. It was really hard for her taking nutrients. She was on an antibiotic every day, Ariped. And now knowing what antibiotics do to your gut health, I realized my poor child, but she was on it daily, a milliliter daily, for her gastroparesis. She's no longer on that. And that's huge. That's huge that she's no longer on that. Delayed cognitive processing, ADD, she was underweight. You see it all right here. 2019, y'all. This is 6 months. It was a little over 6 months, but it wasn't quite 9 months because I go in these 3 month periods. I don't know if it's just the hospital visits in me, but she was a little over 6 months when she had this 2019 visit. Her eczema was gone. She wasn't on any of these creams. Y'all, her migraines were gone. And listen, I'm not, please understand, I'm not trying to say Plexus cures migraines. I'm not here saying Plexus cures asthma, Plexus cures gastroparesis. But when you focus on your gut health, when you focus on that anti inflammation, also, it's important to note, we cut out processed foods as not completely. I'm human and I'm from Louisiana. Okay. So not completely, but we decreased her processed foods, all our entire household. And we don't do sodas. She's 13. She's never had a Coke in her life. So we do all the right things also. And that's important to note. But I was doing all those things in 2018. Important to note, okay? And I didn't see all these changes. When I added Plexus to these healthy habits, that's important. I saw these changes in 2019. Her cognitive improvement, her attention, her healthy weight. Y'all just look at the picture. Different child. I mean, completely different child. Her posture, her connection, because usually Claire's just kind of out in space before, and she's connecting now. And we're having these conversations with her. And I remember the first time my parents visited from Florida, um, like after the first time they visited since she started Plexus, and she was talking, and my mom said, "Oh my goodness, Rhea." And it's important. My mom she's like Claire's second mom, because when I had Claire, I was a single mom. And she watched, I was still working. So my mom took care of Claire her first 2 years. Neither one of us are nurses. Claire, she qualified for home health care, but we learned everything because we're like, we're gonna be her nurses because we don't want anybody else take care of her. We're a little crazy. We're Louisiana. But my mom knows Claire just as well as I do. And so I remember she came and she was in town and she was in tears and she said, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe she's having this conversation with me." And this is why I share. And this is why I'm holding back tears right now. This is our story. And I'm sharing our story because we're talking about immunity for the school year, right? It's really important this coming school year, immunity. But I also want to talk about health also, just overall health. And in the immunity part, y'all, Claire used to be sick all the time, all the time. I mean, I was at Texas Children's, like, I was like, y'all just give me a room. Just give me a room. And we're not there anymore. We're not there anymore ever. We just had her pulmonary function test with her pulmonologist, and we walked into the room and to the waiting room. And I always do the 7:50 a.m. appointments because I like getting in when no one else is there. We walked in, and the receptionist said, "Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've seen y'all." And we were like, "I know," because we used to always be there, y'all. But her immunity is so strong now. And for a child who had a weakened immune system, and was always sick. When she started kindergarten, I mean, she did kindergarten a couple of years. She did it twice. That's fine. We love her. She was always sick, y'all, when she started school, always sick. And she's not anymore. The past 2 years since she's been on Plexus, she is not sick anymore. She's not constantly sick. And so her immunity has strengthened because your immune system is in your gut. It is in your gut. And what does Plexus do? It repairs your gut and it strengthens your gut. So I am going to stop now because everyone on here who knows me knows I can go on and on and on about Plexus. I am going to hush my mouth and I'm going to pass it on to my favorite nurse practitioner in the world. She's going to share her testimony, y'all, because I want y'all to hear more stories of kids, how Plexus has changed, has helped children. And please keep in mind, your immune system is in your gut. And we're sending our kids to school. We don't have the virtual option. And even if we did, y'all, I kept my kids home this past year and a half. They need, especially Claire. She needs the resources that she has at school. So I would send her back regardless. And I'm nervous, but I know that I have Jesus and Plexus and vaccines. I'm not trying to get into any, we're not going to get into any of that. I'm not trying to be, but I'm no judgment for my family. We have vaccines, Jesus, and masks, right? And Plexus. So, so we feel good about her, okay, comfortable about her going to school. But as a mom, I'm still nervous. So I'm all on my Plexus because I want my child to go with a strong immune system. Okay, now I'm really gonna be quiet, I promise. Okay, Janine, mute me, girl. Mute me.
Mute. But you know what? That's what passion looks like, because I'm the same way. I get a chance. So I'm Janine Dabon. I'm a senior gold ambassador, and a nurse practitioner and a mom of an 11-year-old. And I talk to my patients, and I'm blessed to be given a lot of time to spend with them to talk. And Plexus has really impacted my practice too, because I spend a lot of time talking about gut health, more than I ever did before. And so this is a picture of my gorgeous daughter, Ava. She's a mess. She challenges me every day. I'll just say that. But we started this journey together June 30th of last year. And I said, well, we're just going to do this together. And little did I know how much of a blessing it was going to be. I have to say, the community is a blessing for sure, but the products are just like the gravy for me. And so Ava, for most of her life, she's 11 now, suffered with severe constipation. Like that was the only thing that was on her visit summary every time we go annually was constipation, chronic constipation. And I look back and I remember we would take trips and I would make sure to have enemas and suppositories and things because I was afraid that we get somewhere and she couldn't go to the bathroom. And I mean, constipation is a big deal. You don't think it is, but it is. And so when we started Plexus, I noticed that she was going to the bathroom more often. And this was a child who actually wound up being hospitalized for her constipation. And at that, I was like, Lord, I'm such a bad mom. How did I not notice? But it's that age where kids start going to the bathroom by themselves that you kind of lose control because they're like, they go in there and do their thing and they say they went, but they didn't really go. And she did a lot of that, a lot of that. And so one day she just was in a lot of pain and we wound up taking her to and actually I insisted we went to her pediatrician. And I still remember this like it was yesterday because we went and they were like, oh, we'll just do these enemas and everything will be fine. And then I get a phone call, probably like 6 o'clock, and it's the pediatrician. And she's like, so we need to admit her to the hospital. And I was like, what? I said, but y'all said all I had to do with these enemas. And they're like, we looked at her x-ray and it's impressive. And being in medicine, when somebody says something's impressive, you're like, it's impressive. And they even showed it to me later. The GI specialist was like, this was impressive. And so they couldn't believe that she was eating or doing anything because that's how backed up she was. And so I can flash forward to now, though, and I was completely amazed because we started June 30th, and I just noticed every day she was coming home and disappearing into the bathroom. And I was like, what? I said, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. I said, like one or two? Like, which one are you? And she's like, two. And I said, really? And so when we had our annual visit with her pediatrician, first thing she said was, how's that constipation going? And I said, it's gone. And the doctor was like, wait, what? Because we were Miralaxing and everything else. I had my poor little mama one day having to go to the store to get an enema because we were in a crisis. Like it was to that extent. And so now she's doing so much better. And I hadn't gotten a chance to tell you guys this, but during the school year, last year, I would say was the most challenging for kids. I would say that big time. And she started a new school and it was just a lot. And she listens to me on these Plexus calls and she says, hey, I want to try that edge and I want to try that Mega X. And I'm like, really? She's like, because I just been having a hard time concentrating in school. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not concentrating that well. And I heard y'all talking about, so she started on her edge and her Mega X and didn't miss a day the whole school year. And she said and she is a smart kid. She did well, but she knew that she could do much better. And so she started taking Edge and did I say Mega X? She started taking the Mega X, and she said it made all the difference in her ability to concentrate in school and get things done. And so that to me, I was blown away because you never know that your kids are listening, but she was absolutely listening. And for me, my biggest thing is that I thought I was going to live with a lot of sleepless nights because of my own anxiety. And I just was sharing with someone today. I said, I had gotten used to so not sleeping that now that I sleep like a baby, like it's like I don't even miss how I was. And now I will sleep through the whole night uninterrupted. And that's not something that I could say I did before. And so that is the reason why I Plexus. It's just a super, the blessings that have come along with it are just amazing. And Plexus has helped me also afford that very expensive private school tuition. So that's a part of this kids call tonight, just to share that it definitely has supported us as a single mom, that I've been able to afford to send her to the school that I went to my whole entire life. And that meant so much to me that I could do the same for her. So thanks for having me tonight. And thank you for letting me share.
Oh, thank you, Janine.
Yay, thank you.
You have to say UA for Ursuline.
Yeah. UA.
UA skips.
Yes, skips.
Thank you, Janine, for sharing. I completely forgot to share that aspect also. There's that gut health connection that Janine mentioned. I am finishing up my certification as a health coach at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and Dr. Oz is one of our what do you call it, lecturers, and he said something I've always, and I'm piggybacking on kind of what Janine is saying, because we've always talked about how your gut is your second brain. And in one of the lectures, Dr. Oz said, your brain is actually your second gut.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like light bulb for me. And it's true. There's that something else to Google, the gut brain axis, AXIS, that gut brain connection. And just like Janine, I've seen such an improvement in Claire. I fought Claire being on controlled meds for the longest. And in 5th grade, I said, okay, maybe we're doing her injustice, right? And so we put her on Adderall, took her right off of that, put her on Vyvanse, took her off of that. I just didn't like the side effects. My poor child was already underweight. And and since being on Plexus, I've seen such a difference where she really doesn't need those anymore. Such an improvement, that what Janine said, the Edge, Mega X, such an improvement in her attention. And y'all, I was her teacher for the past year and a half. Okay. So, and like we can send them off to school and be like, oh, she's okay. But it's different when we're the teachers. And so because she's high risk, I was her teacher this past year and a half. And I can say I did not need to call her developmental ped and ask for any refills, asking to put her back on anything. It works. It really does. Okay, again, hush, Rhea. We have another testimony, but I'm going to save that for the last one, because that's going to be a really good one, Dr. Powles. I'm excited to hear that. She wants to share. So before we get to that, Dr. Powles, I'm just going to go over some information, if you don't mind, because I really want to share yours for last, because I'm so excited about it. When you're like, that anticipation, I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I just want to share a couple of things about Plexus, y'all, and our Mega Kids microbiome. So I'm not going to get into all the products. If you want to learn more about the products, specific, the adult products, we do this call every Wednesday. We're going to do it next Wednesday, same time, same Zoom ID. Okay. So hop on that. This call, I really want to focus on our kids products. So the Mega Kids microbiome, we talk about our pink drink, right? The adults, we have our pink drink. Well, the Mega Kids microbiome is the kids like vitamin drink. My kiddos love it. I mentioned I have 3 daughters, 13, 9, and 5. And they really like the Mega Kids microbiome. It is their, like I said, it's their vitamin drink, and they drink it. And y'all listen, if my 5-year-old drinks it and she started drinking it at age 4, that says a lot. It says a lot. She'll let you know, she'll refuse. But I want to talk about, only 1 out of 5 children, y'all, consume the recommended daily amounts of fruits and vegetables. And being my master's is in public health, I worked in community health and development, worked for Big Pharma for nearly 10 years. I'm a Pilates instructor, a bar instructor, a health coach. And y'all, we're all human. It is hard to get these kids to eat what they're supposed to. Okay. Even if you're in the health and wellness industry, we eat the rainbow every day. My kids get rewarded for every color of the rainbow. We start with red, then we go to orange, we go to yellow, Roy G. Biv, and it's that blue and violet that's the hardest to get them to eat. But so it's still hard, even focusing on eating the rainbow every day and making sure they get the right amount. So we need help, and that's okay. We need supplementation. And even when they are eating all the colors of the rainbow, y'all, our foods aren't the same. Our soils aren't the same. Our environment isn't the same. And our foods are nutrient depleted. They are. Even like we have a backyard garden. We'll go and pick our cucumbers and our green beans from our backyard. But y'all, we're still not getting the nutrients that back in the day that our bodies are meant to from that soil. So it's important to supplement. And that's why I've seen such a change in myself and my family since I decided to supplement. Because I was one of those people that was like, I eat healthy. I know about my health and wellness. I don't need any extra stuff. I get it all from my food. Y'all, I was boo the fool. Once I added up that supplementation, it's just been a game changer. So back to that, 1/3 of the US population over the age of 9 is at risk for deficiency in at least one vitamin. And I really feel like it's way more than at least one. I feel like it'd be at least, more than that. So we need to help them get those nutrients, help them get their vitamins. So the Mega Kids microbiome, y'all, it has, if you look down here, I know it's a little bit small, my apologies, but it has about as much choline as 9 ounces of tuna. It has your DHA, lutein, your prebiotic fiber, but choline, lutein, DHA, that's all found in breast milk. And we know how powerful that is, even if we don't. No judgment, y'all, because look, I remember my doctor said, look, you're not producing enough. We got to add formula. And I thought it was the end of the world. Okay. But and no judgment, y'all. The baby's got to get fed. Right. So however, but I like to mention that, that's that liquid gold. And those are all the things that you find in that liquid gold. My kids didn't get the liquid gold the whole time. I just dried up. I'm gonna be honest. Right. So no judgment. But anywho, now the X Factor Kids, y'all, the X Factor Kids chewables. This is my favorite. This is what I started Plexus. I started Plexus as a customer, and I used to order two things every month. The probiotic, the Probio 5. This is the adult probiotic that I love and adore because I had GI issues and it changed my life. And the X Factor Kids chewables. It's a probiotic and a multivitamin in one, and it is a game changer. Let me give you some examples. My 9-year-old, who was 7 at the time that we started, she would lay down at night and just have this dry cough, constant dry cough. It didn't start until she went to bed. Went to sleep, lay down in bed, constant dry cough all night long. Zyrtec wouldn't help. Kids Claritin wouldn't help, and I didn't like giving her that stuff. Essential oils wouldn't help. Saline wouldn't help. Added these chewables, y'all, knocked it out. My 5-year-old, she was 2 when she started Plexus. She has this open, she would be an open mouth breather, this wetness all the time. You could just hear like, like you always thought she was sick, but she wasn't. She was just nasally. When she started this, none of that anymore. None of that anymore. None of the runny nose, nothing. And then that's also when I noticed their immune systems getting stronger. And they weren't sick as much, right? And then they weren't sick at all, right? So that is the X Factor Kids. And just look at here, I kept this on here because you can see everything that's in 1 2-tablet serving, because 1 serving of the chewables are 2 tablets. So I actually give my kids 4 tablets. I'm that kind of person. I'm like, look, it's COVID. Y'all get 2 in the morning and 2 at night. But the daily serving is 2. I give them 4, y'all. They take 4 a day. But these are all the things that you find in just that 2-tablet serving. So I'm going to move on. I love to talk about this. I have to make myself keep moving on because I will keep y'all forever. And I'm trying not to do that. And I said I wasn't going to keep y'all long. But anywho, it's like, having them eat their veggies, y'all, without bribing them. And I always say, don't hide your kids' veggies and cookies and everything. You're kind of setting yourself up, which I tell my clients, get them to love veggies, right? And so you don't want to force it. And it feels good to be able to give them the microbiome drink and the chewables and give them the color of the rainbow. And I'm not forcing them to eat a huge amount, but I'm helping them learn to love fruits and veggies. I don't want to hide them from them and trick them into it. I want them to incorporate it into their plate and really love it. So that's another soapbox I'm not going to get on. Janine's like, okay, Rhea. Okay, so let's talk about how to naturally boost your child's immune system, because this is important, y'all. Listen, these are scary times. I'm going to be honest. I try not to use the word scary, but as a mom of 3 children, as a mom of a child with a chronic lung disease, I'm scared. I am. And I just try to put my faith in God and our immune system. And I just pray over them. I pray over them every night, and I do what I can to strengthen their immune system. Like I said, we don't have the option of virtual. It would be good for them probably at this point anyway. They need to go back. But I'm really focusing on strengthening their immune system. I already was, but especially now, especially now. So listen, y'all, less sugar, more fruit. Less sugar. That is key because your bad gut health, your leaky gut, it feeds on that sugar. The more sugar you bring in, y'all, the weaker your immune system is. The more you have this leaky gut syndrome, and when your gut is weaker, you have this leaky gut syndrome. Your immune system is weaker. So focus on less sugar and less processed foods. I know it's very hard, y'all. It's so hard, but try to feed your kids something that doesn't have a long shelf life that you can pop open a bag, right? Try that. Baby steps, the small steps. Also, maintaining your child's microbiota. Basically, good gut health. Okay. Good gut health. So that's the chewables. That's the kids' microbiome. I also give my kids, I give my kids the ProBio 5, the Bio Cleanse, and the Slim. You heard me like leaning into my drawer because I was looking for my microbiome activating Slim. I own, here we go, right here. So I give my kids these three. So I don't give them the full amount. I drink a full amount of Slim, that packet, but I give my kid, like I mix mine. I give them a little bit of mine before I drink out of it. I do. I honestly do. They get the kids drink. They get the kids chewables. I give them a little bit of my pink drink because I'm like, let's really work on that gut health, right? That anti-inflammatory. I give my 13-year-old, she's almost 14, and my 9-year-old is almost 10. I give them one probiotic 5 and one bio cleanse every night also. And that helps with their gut health. That helps with their microbiota. That's helping repairing their gut. But listen, so are the kids' chewables. But I'm just sharing with my regimen with my older children. My 5-year-old, these two. She just gets these two. Now, let's see. Also, try and decrease the stress and anxiety. I'm no expert in that. I am no expert in that, but y'all, these are crazy times. So I just try to make our home a happy home. I just try to make our home stress free, and because this is scary times, but just teaching your kids meditation, teaching your kids mindfulness. You can go on Pinterest and you can search mindfulness. You can search. Y'all, I gotta turn this light off. I'm sorry. I was trying to use this ring light so y'all can see me well, but look, I am so hot. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm sorry. I gotta turn it. I am like, y'all see me. I need like blotting papers. I'm just gonna turn that off. We're all family here. But you could go on Pinterest and search mindfulness for children, and they have worksheets that you can print out, you can read out to your kids. I love seeing my 5-year, she just turned 5 last week. I love seeing my 5-year-old get into this meditative position and close her eyes. She probably doesn't know what she's doing, but the fact that she's breathing, I love it, right? And she might know because kids are sharp. Maintain good sleep habits. So during the summer, I was a little lax, but because school's about to start, we've gotten back into our sleep schedules. Maintain the good sleep habits, and that helps mom maintain good sleep habits, and that helps our health. Because as my mom always tells me, put your oxygen mask on first, Rhea. Put your oxygen mask on first. My mom has always told me that, and so we have to do that for ourselves. We can do it for our children and strengthen their immune systems, and of course, supplementation, everything that we learned here. So y'all, I'm really going to save Dr. Powell's for the last because I'm so excited. So I'm just going to go over a couple more things and how you get started. Okay. So how you get started is you're going to purchase a welcome pack. You're going to start with a welcome pack. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to reach out to the person who invited you tonight, because we want to make sure you get everything you need. You don't get anything you don't need. We want you to start on exactly what you need. Every single supplement Plexus has, I'm on except for the nerve, because I don't need the nerve supplement. But everything is in my pantry. I love it. So I'm like, we need everything. I've seen such a change in my family on all of it, and it's our system. We are Plexus for life. But I want to show you two plans to start with. Two welcome packs, because you'll reach out to the person who invited you. You'll tell them exactly what your concerns are, and they will help you get started on the right welcome pack. They will also have what do you call it? A promo code for you to use. And right now, you definitely want to get started before the 15th, because usually y'all, to get access to our wholesale pricing, it's an extra $39.95, and they'll have different specials. Sometimes it's $9.95, sometimes it's $19.95. Usually the regular price is $39.95. Right now it's $1. So you just for $1 and the price of your welcome pack, you will have access to the wholesale pricing for an entire year. And that's huge because you want these sales, you want these deals all year. So these are the two welcome packs with the kids products in them. This is the one I started with right here, the Family Health Essentials. I love and adore this one. This is the one that I suggest. Why? Because it has your supplements also. And you got to put your oxygen mask on first. Okay. So I adore this because it has the probiotic, the Probiotic 5, the Bio Cleanse, the Slim. It has the protein shake saline. It has this really cute water bottle that I love and adore. It also has the X Factor Plus, which is the adult multivitamin. It has helped with my hair. Like I mentioned, I had bald spots from my Claire's NICU experience. She's about to be 14, y'all. And my hair didn't start growing in. It was right here. I used to look at her incubator like this. And so I had a bald spot all right here. And I didn't start growing back until I was on Plexus. And the X Factor Plus is a huge part of that. My nails, my skin, my hair. My mom was on Plexus. She's 74 years old. And ever since I can remember, my mom has said thin hair. It's just in our genes. We have very thin hair, and I can't see my mom's scalp anymore. And it was since she started Plexus, and she loves her X Factor Plus. Mega X is also in there, and I'm so excited about this because I have Claire on the Mega X. It has helped with her ADD. So when Janine mentioned that Mega X, that's also in the Family Health Essentials. I love this one right here. If you're not ready to start with the 209 welcome pack, which is also, we have a promo code 10% off of 209. You can start with the 109 welcome pack, which is great, y'all. You have the Slim, the pink drink that we mentioned, and you have the Mega Kids Microbiome, the drink. You have the X Factor Kids, the chewable, which is a probiotic and a multivitamin, and you have the X Factor Plus, so the adult multivitamin. So either one of these, if you're on this call for your kids, strengthening your kids' immunity, getting them ready for this school year, which a lot of people have already started school, and here in Texas we haven't started yet. This is the time to get it. Order it now. So get it in, start getting their immune system ready, right? These are those two welcome packs. I have to mention this. Plexus has been a blessing. I started Plexus as a customer. And when I started seeing what it was doing for myself and for Claire, I started sharing. And that's when I really started getting into I just started sharing. I'm hesitating saying got into the business, right? Because it was just so organic, y'all. It was so organic. And I am in the business, and I love the business of Plexus because I started telling my special needs moms about it first. And because we are a special breed in that a lot of us are not stay-at-home moms by choice. We're stay-at-home moms because we need to be there for our kiddos, for our special needs kiddos. And I left a career that I loved and adored. And to be able to do something I love and adore again and bring in as income for my family, and actually being the main breadwinner, and my husband brings in a very good income too, but for me to be the main breadwinner even more so than that, by doing something I love and still being completely available for all my kids is just golden for me. And all I've done is share my experiences, Janine's experiences, Rachel's experiences, Dr. Powell's experience, Raquel's, all of our experiences. That's all I've done. It's very organic. It's very simple. And so if you purchase your welcome pack, you can do that also, y'all. Plexus has a referral system. You refer people and you'll get cash back. It's super simple. You can do it as much as you just want. You just want to pay for your products every month. We can help you do that. You want to be like me, being able to bring in a 6-figure income annually by doing something good. That's the important part, by doing something good, and being able to still be there for your family and not just be a slave to someone else's schedule. Then we can help you do that, whatever level. But the beautiful thing about Plexus is that anyone who purchases a welcome pack, you have that option. You don't have to do it, but you have that option. So that's great. And that's a perfect segue to Dr. Powell's story. I am going to be quiet. I'm going to pass it over to Rachel Davis, Dr. Rachel Davis, my favorite pharmacist. And Rachel, yes. I apologize because I don't have an official title right here.
Oh, no problem. We got it covered.
That is my fault.
Yes, I
It's such a
appreciate you
beautiful
so
picture.
much.
I think that I don't have a title.
Let me start by saying this, because I know we're getting close to our time.
I'm sorry.
What Rhea said about sharing is so, this story is just, I have to tell the backstory on this. So I started to share, and one of the first people that I shared with the products was Erica, my day one BFF. We've been down like 4 flat tires since 1991. I told her, of course, she's like, girl, yeah, whatever you say, where's the link? So she's on. And we called, a few days later, we called her mom, the ever so talented, beautiful, and very blessed Gloria Davis, who's on the call tonight. Her mom caught the vision immediately and just let the spirit lead her. We were at a shopping spree that we earned with Plexus at Nordstrom's last year. And Mama Gloria went to the restroom, and a lady stopped her and said, what are y'all doing over there? Because our energy was infectious, and Mama Gloria was just in the receiving mode to get to receive this lady's questions, right, about her interest and her inquiry. And that will happen to be Raquel's mom. Raquel is on the call right now. And Raquel has a friend named Nisha who has a mom named Dr. Powell's. You see how that works? And it is just a ripple effect of change that you don't even see coming. And it is so such a blessing. So I'm going to hand it over really quickly to Raquel, because I think it's more fitting for you guys to hear from her how we got to know and love Dr. Powell's.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. So I know Dr. Janice Powell's over 30 years, my entire life. She is a prominent pediatrician in the Houston area. She's been practicing as a pediatrician for over 30 plus years. She's known me since I was pediatrician age. And we introduced her to the products through her daughter, Nisha, but she got the vision well before I got the vision. Like because she's a practicing pediatrician, when Nisha and I talked to her about the gut health, the triplex product, she immediately identified patients in her office that could use the product. She spoke of some examples of patients coming in under the age of 18, being overweight, that could benefit from some of these issues, or that were starting to show markers for adult diseases that they shouldn't be having until they're probably 40, 50 years old, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity. So immediately she saw an immediate need for the gut health product that I could have never seen because I'm not a pediatrician. I do believe that Nisha, because she is a brilliant pharmacy rep, she knew when she talked to her mom. And so the way she presented it, immediately Dr. Powell's has opened our eyes and showed us a lot of ways that this product can be used. And we've all been learning right alongside with her. So that being said, she is on fire for Plexus because she really sees the ingredients from the ingredient list, the benefits of the product to help her patients, the children in her office, and also families all across America. And when she got started, she wasn't playing. She hit Fast Start Silver, and this month she went Fast Start Senior Silver, and she's on her way to Fast Start Gold. So without further ado, I'd like to just let Dr. Powell's just share with us why you chose to share Plexus and some of the things that you see it benefiting for children. Please. And you might have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me.
She was caught off guard. I just want to say she was caught off guard, brought on at the last minute. So she's in her home office. Thank you.
Yes. This is home. This is home for me. And, thank you so much for inviting me to it, because I was looking for something for my patients. Pediatricians are into prevention. That's what we do. As pediatricians, we prevent diseases and different problems, conditions we see in children. That's why we give vaccines. When children hate to come to the doctor's office because they have to get the vaccines. We're preventing diseases. We're preventing problems with all the things that you've been speaking about, allergies and stomach problems, diarrhea, constipation, severe constipation. This is what we're into. And so with me, I was noticing a problem with the children's health, overall general health, in terms of not taking their vegetables, not eating fruits, not eating any of the healthy things. They're into the processed foods. They were, just the parents were coming in just begging for something. Help my child. My child only wants the junk foods, refuses the other. And what can I do? So they would a lot of times would ask for a vitamin. Can you just give him or give her a vitamin? Something to just give them what they need because they're not getting it, the junk foods. Well, I would think about, what do I have to give them? What do I have to offer? And these are the things that we see, the gummy vitamins, these I hate to call it some of these names, Bugs Bunny and hopping something. Now I said, this is not what I want for my patients. I don't want these crazy names and gummy drops and something gets caught into their teeth and gets all. I don't want that for them. But I couldn't offer them anything else. I didn't know what else to give. I didn't know about Plexus at that time. But I was looking for something, and sure enough, I think I was just talking to my daughter, and I said, yes, these are some of the things I'm coming across. And just wish there was something else I can do to offer them, so I won't have to send them down to these places. And she said, well, there's Plexus. And so when she told me about Plexus, I said, oh my goodness, this is what I'm looking for. This was a godsend. This is a godsend. I cannot tell you at this point, I have not had that chance to say, compare the amount of minerals in the different vitamins you see, the ones that's out there in some of the drugstores and pharmacies and different places. But I know what I'm seeing in Plexus and in the Mega X and the children's the kids essentials, the combo set. So with that, I said, this is what I need. And so I just took right off. I loved it. I love the products. They do work, and that's what I like. I started just using them myself. And so with that, I share with my patients. When I see them coming in and asking for this, I say, I have just a thing for you. I know what you should have. And a lot of the parents are picking right up on it and moving with it because they love their children. They want the best for their children. They're moving in with they want they'll do whatever for their children. And now that we have some of these issues that we've seen is coming up back in our society again, getting back into school now, this time, not virtual, but we have to go in person. We get to get our children ready for this experience. Plexus is the best way, the only way I know, outside of praying over them. There's never anything better than prayer. Prayer always changes things. Yes, I think a mother should pray for her children. We were just talking about sharing some of these things on this call about the importance of prayer over the children and so forth. Yes, but Plexus is also there with vegan-based, plant-based products, supplements that are healthy, just well-rounded, best for the parents, best for these children. And so I not only share with the parents with the children problem, but also with my friends, my relatives, my loved ones about the importance of this. And after I've been using it and seeing the difference in my skin and different things in my health, I have experience, firsthand experience telling this just my own testimony. So yes, it's a blessing, and thank you for allowing me to share. And thank you for calling me to be a part of this. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Powell.
Thank you, Dr. Powles.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. I am brought to tears because I love pediatricians have just a special place in my heart, and I'm so thankful for you. I can feel the passion for your patients, and
Yes.
I just want to say thank you. I'm very thankful for you and for pediatricians like you. So y'all have a special place in my heart. So thank you for sharing, Dr. Powles. Thank you. I'm sorry, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna apologize because I wear my emotions and I think that's a good thing. So, but thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And y'all, I mean, what better note to end this call and go pray over your babies, right? And your children,
Yes,
and
yes.
reach out to the person who invited you, get them started. We want you to do what's best for you and your children, and we're here to help you on that journey to health. That's all we want to do. We want to help you on that journey to health. And so thank you so much, Dr. Powles, for sharing that. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Janine, for sharing, and Rachel and Raquel. We appreciate y'all. After we end this call, just reach out to the person who invited you. They will help get you started. They will help get you started on the right products. And thank you to all our healthcare providers for everything you are doing during this pandemic, and not during the pandemic, and your regular, when it's not the pandemic. Thank y'all. Thank you, Dr. Powles. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Rachel, Dr. Davis. Thank y'all. Thank you for everything you do for us. We appreciate you. And I hope everyone has a great night. And thank y'all so much for joining us.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all.
Okay. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you, Rhea.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Good night, y'all. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So.